Hey butterflies, welcome back to Alchemy Doctress. Me. Y'all, those magnolia trees are so beautiful. So, I recently found out that the reason why the three trees that they cut down, um, was because they were infested by termites. On the outside, you couldn't see it, but to the basic eye, you couldn't see it, but they saw it clearly. if they knew that they needed to cut it down because the termites apparently had gotten so bad. And then when I looked inside the stump, I saw it. It was the stump was very hollow. So actually it would have been dangerous keeping the trees there. But on the outside, they looked fine. But you had to look close to see that this is a dangerous thing to keep around. That's something to think about because we run into that in life a lot of times. Sometimes things can look really good on the outside, but then on the inside, it's like termites. Termites is eating at the heart. Termites is eating at the soul, the lungs, everything. Like termites is just eating it away. You know what I'm saying? And we run into that a lot with people where they show us one side of them, the good side, the side they want us to see. But they don't always show us the side that the termites is eating on. Okay? So then when you finally get to the part where the danger starts coming in because the termite's been eaten away and the beauty can't hide it anymore, it's like, now what do, right? And that's the importance of discernment and intuition. That's why it's so important to utilize your discernment and your intuition, because there's going to be times where on the outside something can, look or feel a certain type of way, but on the inside, it ain't gonna do the body right. Okay? What they say, diseases don't carry a face. Unless it gets to a certain point where now the termites is eating at the outside. Now you can see it. But people that get caught up in things and situations is because they didn't see it. And I feel like many of you here in this message, because this wouldn't be coming up if it's not something that you've gone through before, something that you've experienced before, where you didn't see someone's termites. You didn't see an organization's termites. You just saw the glitz and the glam and the beauty. And you know what's so interesting is that we've been conditioned to feel that like when people and things are like big and flashy and all this other stuff, we've been made to believe that that's the way to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what we should want. That's what we should aspire to become. But we're coming to find now that a lot of them celebrities and things of that nature, they ain't all that, their image was cracked up to be. They don't really have a personality. Their personality has always been the roles they played. And we see that a lot in life. I feel like in this season, this is why a lot of people who may have grew up with less have had a hard time getting ahead, because society has fed us that this is the aspiration to be. So this is why we have millions of little boys spending their whole life to become one of 500 sports players. We're not allowing them to tap into other areas of themselves, but they're raised up to perform, to be a racehorse. That's what society does to those who are born in the poverty caste system. They feed them dreams, because the dreams keep the system fed. But it's Friday the 13th, y'all. I just hit that. Yeah, it's Friday the 13th. I just remembered that because I saw it before I went to bed last night, when I saw 1221. And 1221 has been a winning number lately for a lot of things. And so when looking at 1221, the song that came up when I shuffled was Preach by Young Dolph. If that don't work, he a leech. Okay? You know how many people be walking around like they're X, Y, and Z, but whole time they wouldn't have or be who they are if they didn't have something there as a leg up to help them. You know, it's like society is placed in a place to look up at certain things and roles and aspire to become that thing, instead of nurturing the magic that's already in you. Instead of nurturing the magic that is already in you, it pushes you to work really hard to become something that you're not yet, because that feeds the system. So no, the system doesn't want you to remember who you once were. No, the system doesn't want you to remember your lineage and, you know, your past lives and your power and all that. Because if you remember that, then you wouldn't be playing into their system and their game of achievement. You wouldn't be playing into their game of what it means to be successful and to achieve. You'll just be like, I'm building from me. The system profits off of us always searching for more. And there's a difference when you're searching for more within yourself and your soul. But they have us out here searching for more in materialism outside of ourselves. They want you to chase up behind people and things and all this stuff that gives this false sense of meaning, because they put this false sense of meaning on it. So it's like they get these rappers, right? Mind you, they're a caricature. Mind you, they're a brand. They are a brand. Their whole image is created. That's why they have an image consultant. Okay? They are a brand. They are branded to wear particular things so that they can get particular responses from the media and from people so that they can attract a certain eye. None of this is new and different, right? None of this is new. But the thing is that most of them, they're not the things that they talk about. So you have these people who are out here. I mean, hell, let me not even get into it. I ain't even going to talk about it. I don't even want to, let me not get on people's, like, they have people out here influencing the youth who didn't even graduate. Not only didn't graduate high school, but they can't read. They can't read. I'm not going to call out this particular artist because it's one that I know particularly, because they went to the school I taught at. Now, this is... Watch the images that they want to put in front of our faces to look up to. Watch the images they want us to look up to, the images that they want us to become, because they put this in front of us to aim towards. But these people are not even the things that they rap about, or the things that they sing about, or the things that they talk about. They are literally just a brand and an image. So you have a bunch of people who then now take in this music and stuff, listening to it, and they internalize it like it's them. Trust me, I've been there, done that, okay? There's a difference between listening just to listen for entertainment and listening like really on some like, yeah, I'm aspiring to this. They internalize it like it's real life. And it's not. You got women rapping about playing men and all this other jazz, and they getting played. They're becoming all the things that they have all the time talked about. So it's showing the hypocrisy that we have placed in front of us. And if you grew up in poverty or in the hood, your subconscious have those images inside. So what does that do to us on the inside? It tells us we have to aim for these different things. It's a rat race. You should always desire something that's more than what you have. Desire something that you don't have yet. It's like they want you to chase your tail. And people may ask, who is they? Those who created the systems that we are living in now. And it's not the politicians. It's not even the president. It's higher than the president. Hip hop is bigger than religion. Hip hop is bigger than my nigga. Hip hop, it's bigger than the government. Hip hop. Who know that song? If you know that song, you a real one. You are a real one if you know that song. It just popped in my head. Rastafari. Something. Hip hop is bigger than religion. Hip hop. So a lot of messages and things these days are being transmuted through the music and TV. And it's now about to start moving into like streaming and all of that, which is why there's been like a lot of suppression that's been happening and a lot of pushing in the algorithm. So really just pay close attention to your algorithms, what they try to push for you to watch, the things that you say that you're not interested in, and it keeps showing it to you. Have you ever had that happen where you tell the algorithm like, I'm not interested in this, but it keeps showing up? Like they want you to click it. They want you to watch it. They want you to click on that. And many people who are spiritually inclined may take that as being like, oh, this is a sign. You need to know the difference between a sign and forced assimilation. Make sure you know the difference between a sign and forced assimilation. Because what that does is that, you know, they have the number of 7, of saying that a person needs to see something 7 times before they buy, right? So that's what they'll do for those things. So you ignore it, you ignore it, you ignore it. Eventually you're going to be like, you know what? I'm curious. Why is this being shown to me? Why am I seeing this? You know, what is it that I'm supposed to see in here? That spiritual part start kicking in. What is it that I'm supposed to see? Right? But them 7 times that you have been seeing it pop up on the timeline and all this other jazz, it was prepping you for this. You remember, you kept saying you're not interested. Your spirit is not going to force you to take something in that you deny. Your higher self is not going to force you to take something in that you deny. Your higher self is only going to come to you with something that you are willing to walk in, that you're willing to try, start. I need to clean my car. Look, I'm sitting here just wiping off the what's the name and stuff while I'm talking. Y'all know I got autism, honey, and I get distracted. But It's just something about a lot of distractions right now. A lot of distractions. A lot of distractions. And watch out for the archetypes and things that they're trying to push, or the ways of being. You know, I was just telling some people, and they got mad at me, honey. Call me and pick me, all this other jazz, about all the man-hating content that's out right now. And it's getting really bad. Like, it's getting bad to the point where, like, you know, of men being a mutated, you know, gene. And I understand the difference between the chromosomes and all of that jazz, right? But it's trying to make it as if it's trying to create a sense of man hate. Put it that way. It's no different from the red pill movement that we had, right? Y'all remember that? Is it still going on? Where they, you know, really hated women, and they really hated women to the point where they were doing, say, a lot of, you know, mean things or whatever the case is, because of their disdain for women, and saying how women is X, Y, and Z's. Well, this feels like it's on the other end. You get what I'm saying? And I don't care what no one says. Everything has its opposite. Everything in nature has its opposite. Okay? And the reality is that we've all been socialized. We have all been socialized into a way of being. So even with how the majority of men are, they've been socialized to be this way. That's something that is going to take time to change that programming, to change the socialization of the programming. You get what I'm saying? But the answer is not becoming the other side of, oh, they do all these things, so they're evil, they're this, they're that. Or is it that they've been built inside of a system that makes them toxic? You know, it gets inside of the DNA, and then it gets within your actions and your behavior, and you keep playing it out. So the same way, even with women, like, women have been socialized to be a certain way outside of their power. Men are socialized to be selfish, and women are socialized to be codependent. Of course, that is going to create problems, when honestly, we've been supposed to learning interdependence, where we both are independent and we learn how to work with each other even more through our personal independence. Okay, so it's not about using them before, you know, they get to you, and hurting them before they hurt you. And, you know, you're literally doing nothing but becoming what hurt you, and that's not healing. You know, it's not healing. All it is doing is creating a new level of socialization. And in that level of socialization, it's not solving anything, you know. Now, I'm not saying that we need to go out there and heal the men. No, it's in raising the young boys. But you also have to understand socially, even that the TV shows that come out with each generation socially, they're coming out to guide the mindsets of the next generation, if you come to notice that. So the shows that we grew up watching, and, you know, all the games, all that other jazz, that was socializing our brain to be a certain way. It was socializing our mind to be a certain way. So that's why we all grew up having similar experiences, right? And each generation, it's like they have each generation, they have like a new standard of something that they're teaching the generation, or that they want that they want that generation to internalize. You get what I'm saying? And so now we're in the aspect where this generation, they want to push the internalization of not only independence, but that the other one is only out for your harm. Where that causes problems and issues. And when we were talking about, having another civil war, or whatever the case is, or, all the other jazz, is going to be social. Because if the people are fighting against each other, the governments can do whatever they want to do. So is it to say that the pain and things that have been experienced or we've gone through, is it to say that that's wrong? No, it's not to say that it's wrong to feel and work through what you have gone through and what you have experienced, okay? Hey, neighbor. I'm good. How you doing? You too. Pay close attention, and that'll let you know where they're trying to shift the next generation. The reality is that if we all learned how to work together, it'd be harder to control us. Men being mad at women and using women benefits the system, and women hating men benefits the system. They both benefit the system. 21-21. And if you're too busy fighting your neighbor, then you don't have enough time and energy to fight the other things. And I told you this was going to be the next push after the last election and stuff that we went through. I knew this was going to be the next push socially that we were going to be put under. And I need you to understand, we're not hopeless. We're not hopeless. There is so much that we can do and that we are doing. So don't let that work go in vain. You get what I'm saying? But the best way we can help the collective is by continuously working on ourselves. That's the best way we can help the collective, is by continuously working on ourselves, continuously building ourselves, continuously working with our children, helping build our children. We need to see more, schools, smaller schools that you all create for the kids, where they learn their spiritual side. They learn how to master all of their energy. Many of you here, you're literally switching into something that you weren't raised up with this. You were raised up in a system to follow a certain path that was laid out for you. You went against that grain. You went against that path and you went against that grain. And because of that, now you are continuously redefining, restructuring, reorganizing everything. Everything. So that it fits your energy, your growth, your evolution, while you still redefine who you are, your connection to the world, your connection to the people around you. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. You're operating off of, and sometimes outdated information, incomplete information. Each generation was sold a dream. If you think about it, and this is how you can help your children. Each generation was sold a different dream, and that dream, they got stuck in it. So you got to see what the dream is, and you have to identify a way to obtain that thing without you giving more of yourself. So for example, millennials. The millennials' dreams that was sold to us was go to college, get a good job, live amazing. We ain't know nothing about that debt, them student loans, how that was going to work, none of that. That's how they made millennial slaves. Before that, it was the sense of home ownership and being single, very independent type of energy. We're seeing that coming back again. Then before that, you had be married, be together, build a 2-parent home, do that. I don't know. It's like each generation was sold a different dream, the white picket fence, but the white picket fence was packaged differently. So even with this generation, we're going to have, okay, the workforce is changing. Put it that way. The workforce is changing. So now the current push is being creators, right? But the ones who make it are going to be the ones who think outside of the box. You can't just do the same things that's been done. So we can't just always just talk to the camera. You have to have personality. You have to have value with the thing that you're talking about and doing. So there's no more scripts. None of that. The system is changing. The system is changing. We're getting more into, that Aquarius energy. And so that's why it's going to be very important to have like your niche, your area. You're also going to be finding that a lot more people are going to be wanting to connect and stuff offline. They're not going to want to be all on the internet all the time. So what does that look like? How do you get involved with your community, with your neighbors? In a world that wants you to be mad, become madder. Because honestly, you got to be a little crazy to go against the system. You got to be a little crazy to go against the things that they put in place. The things that they put into place to try to keep you stuck or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mad to go against this shit. You gotta be wild and crazy kids. You have to be different to be like, nah, I'm gonna do this. I'm about to try this. You have to be different. And you are different. And that's why you're the one who's on this frequency right now and not other people that you know. The changes that you make, the things that you do are going to have an impact on your children, your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. Don't fall for the bait. Don't fall for the bait of what they want you to do, what they want you to feel, what they want you to think. Don't fall for the bait, okay? It's nothing but trying to just bait you into the trap. Because it's all a trap. It's all a trap. But that's the message. And you know what's crazy? This isn't even a message that I came on here to do. I came on here to do a whole nother message. And once I started talking, Spirit just guided me in another way. So I'm going to just do that message another time. I'm about to get off here because I need to get ready to go work out. Butterflies. My goal is to do either an all signs or pick a card later today in the membership area. So I'm going to check in with y'all on that. But as always be real. Always be true. Don't be afraid to do what your higher self and your spirit team is calling for you to do. Check out all the links and things down below for personal sessions, hypnotherapy, past life regression sessions, all that jazz. Love y'all. Bye.